My wife is on a mission to remove all seed oils from our house. She read a book by a doctor that laid out the case against seed oils and their impact on your health. That was all she needed to have complete conviction. And one of her great strengths is that once she has conviction, she is relentlessly disciplined about changing her behavior. I envy that. Because for me, seed oils are just one more thing on a long list of health topics where I feel, honestly, pretty confused. And the reason I feel confused isn't that I haven't looked into it, it's that I have. I've seen conflicting evidence from people who seem smart and credible. I've heard strong opinions on both sides. And it doesn't help that many of those people make money or have vested interests that are hard to untangle. Some have research funded by food companies, some own supplement brands, some are investors in companies that benefit if I see the world a particular way. So at some point I find myself thinking, who do I actually trust here? And I see people dealing with this exact same thing when it comes to business ownership. There are a lot of people out there positioning themselves as experts on becoming a business owner. They've all got a newsletter, a podcast, multiple frameworks, and almost always they're selling something, a community, a course, coaching. It doesn't necessarily mean that what they have to share isn't valid, but it definitely creates some doubt. On one hand, you want good information so you can make a smart decision for yourself. On the other hand, you don't want to be sold a dream or pulled into something before you're ready. So it's tempting to just check out, to throw your hands up and say, I don't have time to figure this out. But I can't do that with my health because I've already decided it's something I care about. Because the information is out there and I can find it for free. I just have to be willing to do the work. I know that I'm accountable for the health outcomes of my life, regardless of whether the information on how to optimize my health is messy or the incentives are imperfect. I feel the same about the accountability I have for my financial future and my career. I don't get to opt out because I have to live with the outcomes. Now, for a lot of you, business ownership isn't some random idea you stumbled across. It's probably connected to a deeper desire for a different future, more control, more freedom, maybe more alignment with how you want to spend your time and energy. Now, I've worked with thousands of business owners, and when you strip it all down, that's usually what's underneath it. A desire for freedom of some kind, financial freedom, time freedom, the freedom to work on things that matter, the freedom to choose who you work with and how you work. But that freedom comes with a price, and that price is responsibility. If business ownership is even something you're considering, then like it or not, you're already accountable for the decision. Choosing not to decide is still a decision. Checking out is still a choice. So if you feel overwhelmed right now, that actually makes sense. You're trying to make a high-stakes decision in a space where the information is noisy, the incentives are mixed, and there's no clear playbook. But this also isn't a decision you can outsource. There's no guru who can make it for you. And there's no shortcut around doing the work to understand whether it's right for you. Because once you own a business, everything works this way. You're going to be constantly solving problems you've never seen before. You're going to be constantly making decisions with imperfect information. And if the idea of that is deeply uncomfortable, then business ownership is probably going to be a poor fit for you. Which is right, the real work here isn't finding who to trust. It's learning how to filter through the noise well enough to trust yourself and your own judgment. That's the skill that has to come first. So in the next video, I'll walk through a few of the approaches I use to do exactly that. How I learn in noisy, incentive-driven spaces, how I decide what information deserves weight, and how I turn confusion into personal conviction for myself. It's the same process I use in business, and the same one I still am using with things like my health, seed oils included. As usual, if you got value from this, like it, send it to someone you think it could benefit. Have an amazing week, and don't quit your daydream. Cheers.